we are back with The Mummy. Wait, no, we're Flipper Flakes. I forgot my line.
No.
I'm Adam.
I'm Sam.
I'm Tim.
Yeah, we watched The Mummy. I did.
Anuk, son of moon. That's what I should have said.
There you go.
Anuk, son of moon.
That's too hard. You're going to go by Tim.
Yeah, it's also the chick's name, so.
I know.
Exactly.
I know. I was like, I'm pretty
Emotep. I should have gone with that.
I was like, nah, Tim is, yeah, no. Also,
That's
I'm
like,
going to
that's
say.
like being Rocky. Adrian.
Adrian.
Son of moon. That's the same thing.
There you go.
Yeah, so we got Near and Dear this week, and if you listen to the
Sure
expectations that are on Instagram, yeah, I'm gonna try and make sure that's on there because I just said that.
Yeah, you're holding yourself accountable at this point.
Well, Raggy.
I know. This movie was supposed to be Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, but Netflix was like, nah, bruh. I know we just released this brand new one, so everybody's got the nostalgia to watch that one, so we just cut that from our shit. I'm like, that was stupid.
And then no other streaming service picked it up.
No other
That's
streaming. Yeah, that's the weird
Surprising,
part.
because usually when they cut something, it pops up on like HBO or Hulu or Amazon.
That being said, I own this on DVD, so I was like, I could watch it, but I didn't really feel like, of all films to make Tim rent.
After we had just made him pay $7 for a DVD.
No, he paid $4 for
I think
that
like
DVD.
$4.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
It was
good.
$4. I was like, Tim's probably not going to be like wanting to rent
I
Mighty
don't
Morphin
ever
Power.
mind.
I know you don't, but like it's the principle.
Yeah.
So we were like, I was like, Tim's texting me this morning. He's like, hey, it's not there anymore. So I was like,
Yeah.
shit. The Mummy. So we're watching The
Nailed it.
Mummy.
There you
And
go.
that's on Peacock. Peacock.
Peacock.
Peacock TV.
Just full disclosure, I rented it.
Full disclosure, I already owned it in 4K.
Yeah.
I know I owned it somewhere, but I was like, fuck that.
Can't go
and
find
Peacock was like signed out. I said, fuck that. I just rented
That's
it.
effort, and I'm just gonna rent it.
it. The
I'm
ultimate
pretty sure I don't
convenience
have
fee.
Peacock anymore anyway. I was like, I might, but I was like, no,
Oh, she'll hit me
Amazon's
up.
literally just like close your eyes and click buttons and you're watching something. So
Still our least used service. Funny enough. But here's the synopsis. If you've not seen the 1999 classic, The Mummy featuring Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz,
Yeah, it's not the Tom Cruise one.
not that one. That came out in
Not- are you sure?
2017. But an archaeological dig in the ancient city of Humantapatra. Yeah, I said that right. An American
Nailed it.
serving in the French foreign language accidentally awakens a mummy who begins to wreak havoc as he searches for the reincarnation of his long-lost love, Tim.
nailed it.
Perfect.
Anuk, son of moon.
See? That being said, Imhotep did say her name quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
He does, literally.
Once
That's
he
like
has
one
a
of the only
tongue.
things I remember from that is Anuk, son of moon.
Once the guy gets his tongue back.
Oh, my
shit.
gosh.
So, Tim, you've seen this, and I think Sam has too.
Yeah.
Where was the
Naturally.
first? Where do you remember seeing the first time, or is it
Do
just
I
like,
remember the first time?
yeah, like, was it eventful?
Not really. No.
Ah, okay.
I mean, I'm sure. Like after I saw it, I was like, amazing, but I couldn't tell you who was there. What if I watched it alone, I couldn't tell you any of that.
I remember being scared shitless. I was at my friend.
Really?
I was at my
wasn't
friend
scared at all.
Keegan's house, and we had just been talking about whether or not what the HP stood in Pokemon cards. We
Nice.
had decided horsepower because that's what 7-year-olds decided. They're like, I heard HP stands for horsepower, and we're like, okay, that makes sense. No, it doesn't. It makes health points or hit points, not horsepower.
Not horsepower makes sense.
Charizard has 130 horsepower for what it's worth, and that's
I
very
love
high.
that, Yeah.
And Sam, what about you?
I feel like I saw this in theaters, which seems wild
6
because
years
we were
old.
so young. But
Right.
I don't know. Like, for some reason, it's sticking out in my mind that I did. And I know there was in Cincinnati, there was like a Eden Theater back in the day in Mount Lookout. And so if I saw it, it would have been there. It's not like
Right.
I went.
Could you have seen the second one in theaters?
No, I've never seen the second one.
What? I
Yeah.
know what we're doing tonight.
The only one I've seen is this one. Yeah. And so I don't know. For some reason, I have it in my mind that I saw it in theaters. But regardless, I remember when I saw it, the scene where Benny dies was the most frightening thing I've
That
ever
was
seen in my
pretty-
life.
Yeah.
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 Some of the deaths are pretty harsh.
Yeah. That
They're
one too.
pretty rough in this movie. I mean, it's straight up just like, yeah, it's brutal.
There's no like he might have lived. No.
no
The
questions.
No, there's no question in this movie.
The only
my
guy that you're like, oh, he might have lived is Ardeth Bay, whose name isn't even said once. He's like the Magi. That is the Magi who is he's in all black and he's like, you have
Yeah.
disturbed this sanctuary.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's the leader. So apparently, first off, that guy's supposed to be head to toe in tattoos based off of like former like the Magi, and the director was like,
I'll just
He's-
put 3 on his face.
no. He straight up said he's too good looking for me to cover his face, and I was like, nice.
That's fair.
That's fair.
That is fair.
I was like, no, I can dig it. The flow and everything. Yeah, I'm vibing.
Yeah. He had it going on. Yeah.
I'm glad that Tim and I are the one discussing this, and Sam's in the quiet over. Hey, you know,
I
I'm
can
not.
admit it, man.
It's like I'm
he's
not
not
gonna sit
wrong.
there. I'm comfortable with myself. I can say this man is a beautiful man.
I just like that he had like 3 face tattoos then.
Yes.
It was like forehead, cheek.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's clearly like, okay, make sure he looks
Just-
Egyptian.
Yep.
All right, those are for
You
the
talk
sun.
Weird. Okay.
All right, talk with an accent. Actually, I think he
Yeah.
might actually be like Egyptian or something.
I think so. Yeah. I
Somewhere
think
from
he
North
actually is.
Africa.
Yeah.
This whole
got
film was
this,
done in
dude.
Morocco, not Egypt. Funny
Mhm.
enough,
Mm-hmm.
except for like
that
the
doesn't surprise me because it's like nothing is ever filmed where they say it's filmed except for Bollywood.
They commit.
They're all in.
Nah, Los Angeles and New York have been destroyed a bunch. There's the construction, like contracting game. They have a lot of money in the biz.
Mhm.
They've been just blowing up buildings left and right.
Yeah.
Fair.
I was surprised. Sorry.
She's just
I
marking me with
I just
pens.
poked him with my pen on accident. I was surprised that the subtitles were like their own fun
Aw,
font.
that was fun.
Or were yours basic, Tim? Like-
I actually didn't have them on this one.
No. Like when they would speak Egyptian or ancient Egyptian.
It was like a
Oh.
curly Q fun little font.
Oh yeah, it was like super like yeah.
Yeah.
animated
It was
sort of.
artsy.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Which is just funny because like they don't do that shit anymore.
No,
Nah.
they don't. Why would they do that?
Yeah, they're like, we're not wasting money on that.
White font with black
They're like,
borders.
"Watch the movie."
Half the time we don't even fucking get subs when they have
speak-
somebody speaking another language
They-
now. They're like, they'll figure it out.
They
Context
only
clues.
did that one time in this film, and that's because literally 2 seconds later, Benny like
Says it.
in
Yeah.
English. Oh, fucking Benny. Benny is one of those actors that always plays a role like Benny. He's
Yeah.
Igor in Van Helsing, Tim.
Okay, all right.
Then he's also in Deep Rising.
Yes.
And then this director, Scott Summers, did Van Helsing and Deep Rising.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know
And
that.
and Tim's one of these like random movies that Tim's like, oh, I really like this movie. Odd Thomas.
Well, okay. That's my favorite book.
Oh,
The
my
movie's
bad.
still good.
Okay, my bad. My
The
bad.
book is amazing.
Okay,
So,
so so this director has actually like hit a lot of Tim's faves.
I was gonna say this is like Tim's favorite director that he didn't know he had. I feel like.
But when I read
My long lost director.
when I read Steven Summers, I was like, I know that name. Who is this?
And then you're like, oh.
Found him.
Yeah. But you know how at the beginning of the movie when Evie is in the library and all the shit dominoes over?
Yes.
They had to do that in one scene because it would have taken an entire day to reset it up.
Obviously. That makes sense.
And
Yeah.
I've had a natural I've had a fear of doing that in a library
Yeah,
ever since
that's
that.
frightening.
Like I've got broad shoulders. I bump into shit.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't think my mass is going to knock over that many books.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like logistically speaking here.
Right.
Not with the speed I'm going at in a fucking library.
Yeah. You're not like sprinting through
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
library.
you're not like obnoxiously sprinting. Yeah, running through. Like, it's not a wet pool. You're not running through it. You know. It's just,
Yeah.
You're just walking because it's safe to walk
Exactly.
or something. I don't know.
What is that quote from, Tim?
What?
The wet pool. I have never heard someone say that.
I don't know. I just thought of it.
Okay, Tim is just one of those guys that makes up phrases. I like it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be stealing
Because
that.
everybody runs in a
Yeah, I was gonna
in a pool
say.
area.
It made perfect
but
sense.
it's clearly unsafe to do so.
Oh, I
you
know.
They compare it to,
I fully understood it, but I was like, it seems like
Yeah.
I thought you were like quoting like how I met, not how I met.
no. Sometimes my randomness kicks in and there you
Quoting
go.
his own brain.
I loved it. But I was quoting myself when the first fucker falls over. First of the Americans falls over. And he loses his glasses. I'm like, my glasses, my glasses.
Yeah.
I can't see without my glasses.
Yeah, he Velma's out.
Okay. Sam needs. She's got glasses that are very powerful.
Yes.
You can still see without them.
Oh yeah. I've never.
Yeah, you could see objects and shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
yeah.
Like, I understand that some people's vision are really bad. One of our friends has really great vision. We'll say that. I'm pretty sure he might be partially blind.
Oh.
You know him, Tim.
Hmm.
Just
Do I?
not going to say his name.
Okay.
You're not gonna out him.
I'm not going to out him.
Oh wait. Yeah, I think I know you're talking
You've
about.
worn his. You've probably put it on his glasses before and be like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. Bro, what?
He might only see blobs in the cave. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes. Well, it's also dark light, so maybe he
that
can't
does have
see,
something
but-
to do with it.
Also, but when you're looking for something and you can't see, why do you go for the spotting motion? Go for the sweep.
True.
Yeah.
Go for the sweep, guys.
Yep.
And
How
Well, it's
Those
gals.
also
people
funny
have-
because just to nail this home, glasses that are just look like normal glasses,
Yeah.
you're not going to be a person that struggles to see. without
Exactly.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
If you've got some like trifocals on or some shit,
Oh,
and they're real
shit.
Sure.
thick, like yeah, maybe you're having a rough time.
I tried to catch a lacrosse ball with trifocals on once. My great uncle had them, and I was like,
Yeah.
"All right, I can try this." He's like, "If you can catch this ball," and he like threw an underhand, I will give you like some small, like $5. No, I whiffed that shit. That thing bounced between the different focals, and I was like, I can't. What just happened?
Time travel, man. Oh man.
Now, this movie is known as, people love this movie. I know that I love it. Tim seems to love it, and Sam was like, I mean, I watched it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It has some great dialogue.
It really does. And like most of the delivery for Brendan Fraser in this movie is sarcasm, which is fucking
Oh,
hilarious.
yeah.
Oh, it's
Like-
so great. Yeah, like
It's
what?
fantastic.
Like one of my favorite lines is, I think this is actually a pretty commonly loved line, where Benny's like, "Looks like we have all the horses." I don't even have to say the last part. We're on
Yeah.
the right side of the river.
Yeah.
It's just so great. And then he's like, at one point, people were like, "Oh yeah, how was your guys' day?" Well, ours was fine. Like some weird shit happened, but like the other guys were like, a few of their diggers melted, acid or
biggie.
something. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and he's talking about the kiss with the main girl, and he's like,
Evie.
I was about to be hanged. I don't know. It seems like a good idea at the time.
He's just clever, really. And I actually love the part where he yells at the mummies.
Yes.
Dude.
Oh, and they yell back. He's like, oh.
Well, and then earlier, the
That's
mummy
awesome.
yells at him, and he yells back.
He yells back. Yeah.
So one time, Sam, I accidentally, like, I must have woken Sam up in the middle of the night, playing video games till like 4 a.m. or something. And Sam
Yeah.
yelled, like, not like yelled at me, but like in fright.
Was alarmed because I could not recognize him because it was dark.
Dark. Yeah. You were just sleeping.
And
Eh.
this bitch yells back at me. It was the most alarming experience. I'm sure the cat was like, what the fuck is wrong with these
Yeah.
two?
What the hell?
Yeah, so this scene is coming up. I'm like, Sam, you ready? We reenacted this scene one time.
Yeah, we seriously did. This is so ridiculous. Ay.
The bugs though in this film, the scarabs.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are what like scarred me as a child.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, those were actually pretty freaky. You're like, oh, that would suck.
Like we never actually see how the warden dies, but he
Mhm.
dies.
Yeah.
It went in his brain.
Yeah, like yeah. He was like just sprinting, and then you never see him again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are like creepy crawly. Ugh.
Yeah,
And then-
those are freaky.
I like how Brendan Fraser is just like shooting at them. Like there's got to be other ways to kill him, but he's like one at a time.
That's all he knows. Yeah.
Dude, so the Stephen Sommers was like, all right, so I just got out of George of the Jungle, and I think this guy is perfect for this movie.
Nice.
He's got this. I shit you not, Errol Flynn vibe,
Oh, that's
where
funny.
he can play like. Okay, do you remember when we first started this podcast shit, and like 5 movies in a row brought up Errol Flynn?
I think the first one was Swept Away, and
Yeah.
then like consecutively after that, they'd be talking about Errol Flynn.
And we were like, who the fuck is Errol Flynn? He basically just plays like a swashbuckling like pirate who's like charming and sassy and sarcastic and everything that Brendan Fraser was nailing in this movie.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So 3 or 4 years later, what year are we on of this podcast?
3.
3. We're still talking about Errol Flynn.
But yeah, he got that from George of the fucking Jungle.
Well, he has his George of the Jungle hair in that prison scene. I was like, oh my God,
He
George of the
does.
Jungle's here.
George.
Yeah, he
George.
does.
Look at
George
his
of
little
the
wavy
Jungle.
hair.
Sam said that if she gets near and dear, that's what she's picking.
Fucking love that movie.
Fair.
Oh, dude, during the hanging scene when he was looking like George the
Mm-hmm.
Jungle, he actually had to be resuscitated.
Oh no.
What the fuck?
Yeah, something kind of went wrong with like the hanging. The 90s, man.
Yeah, it was a rough time to make a movie.
Could have lost Brendan Fraser.
I know.
Buddy.
Yeah,
Good.
glad he's back.
Yeah.
Glad he is back. I still need to see The Whale.
Mhm.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
So, the camels. Ridden a
Mm-hmm.
camel before, not comfortable, may I add.
I wouldn't imagine they are.
Apparently, so okay, you remember how at the end Benny's trying to put all the gold onto one of the camels' back, and it's like he's kind of like not letting him.
Yeah.
Right.
Apparently, all the camels just did not like Kevin O'Connor.
That's hilarious.
Like he's struggling the whole time with these camels.
Oh.
Love that.
It's so ridiculous, and it fits the character so much.
It does. It does.
Yeah. They're like, we're not going to
Piece
do
of
anything
shit.
about it.
Yeah.
What's funny though is like Benny keeps like bailing on fucking O'Connor the whole film.
Mhm.
And
Oh yeah.
even at the end though, O'Connor holds out his hand, willing to like try and save him. Doesn't, but he tried.
Yeah.
And you're like, he's a good person, man.
Mm-hmm. He almost got his arm squished over
He
it.
did almost get his arm squished over it.
Yeah.
But you know who we've not talked about yet is Jonathan.
Jonathan's pretty funny.
I fucking love Jonathan. The brother?
Is he the one that flies the plane?
No, that's
Oh, sorry. Wow. Yeah, I was drawing a blank. Jonathan. Yeah. Okay.
Tim disappeared on
I
us
was a
there.
little. Yeah, I was like, wait a second. I have no recall. Okay. I gotcha.
I love Jonathan. He was the perfect amount of drunk sass the entire film.
Pretty
Yes.
much, yeah.
I realize there's a lot of sassy sarcasm in this film.
Yeah, like it's kind of funny because like the stuff that is very scarring is like scarring and like kind of like, damn, they're going hardcore. But then like the dialogue and a lot of the other stuff is comedy, so it's like kind of a perfect blend.
It's an
Yeah.
adventure comedy
Yeah, like it feels more like a comedy
at times.
at times, but I feel like the first watch through, you got to be like concerned for all the people getting eaten alive by bugs. You know,
Yeah.
like there's no way around it.
And I think that's why it succeeded, like, just overall. But, like, for us, like, when we were kids, we were able to watch it because the comedy, like, lightened it. It lightened the load a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And I fully enjoy that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got another quote for you.
Okay.
Since Tim brought up the pilot,
Yes.
Violet,
this guy walks through a fountain and he said some bloody idiot spilled his drink.
Yeah, he spilled his drink.
And then he walks back through
Through
it
the
and he
puddle
looks
again.
just as confused. And I'm like, oh my God. How do you not know this is a fountain, my dude? I loved it.
Another good one from O'Connor was he's talking to both of the Magi people. And he's like, so question, why does he not like cats?
Oh, yeah.
Then the whole scene when he holds the cat up, it's great.
Right.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. I feel like the mummy face is like very derpy. Like a lot of the facial expressions are derpy to me.
Are you talking about like when he like extends his jaw?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
like a lot of times it felt like, and I don't know if it was just like the fact that I was laying down when I was watching it, but a lot of times it felt like one of his eyes was like covered, and then the other one wasn't, and so he just looked like really like expressive with one eye, and then the other one was just like blank. So it just looked derpy to me. I don't know why.
He at one point had a scarab walk through his body, and he just chomped it.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
it's not. I don't know. Like, I'm sure it was scary at the time, but it's funny to
Yeah.
rewatch now because you're like,
It
"This
is
a
mostly a
derpy
comedy
guy."
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and Tim, when you've watched plenty of horror movies, and these films will overly do the gore a lot of times, right?
Like one that's supposed to be a straight horror movie would usually be extremely gory.
Yeah.
Like
So,
they
yeah.
push the boundaries on that.
There's not that much blood in a human body sometimes.
Yeah.
But they were originally trying. They put more blood. They had blood kind of on the mummy.
Oh.
Yeah, and they slowly kept taking parts off, being like, too scary, still too scary,
That's
still
funny.
too scary, and like they walked it back. So they must. I want to see the original one because it would have been frightening. I'm guessing.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I do want to see the original. I wonder if it's floating around somewhere.
It's gotta be, right?
Right.
Dude, so the environment this was filmed in. So first off, Sam and I have actually been to a few of the shooting locations by accident because we've been to Morocco.
Yeah.
She's like, I've been Hadou.
Yeah. It looked very familiar.
I've been there. Like that film, that there's a part in Morocco that like, if somebody needs like a desert city, they just go there. Gladiator was there. Ben-Hur was there, right? Ben-Hur. There is the Misa scene in Game of Thrones is there. So like they have like a list of films that have just come to this like they have abandoned the city and rebuilt a city across the river. It's kind of funny,
Yeah.
but it's kind of cool. But with all of the animals that live out in the desert, the snakes, the scorpions, the spiders, these guys, the crew were getting bit and stung by them
Oh no.
and having to get
Wow.
airlifted out of the set to go get like medical
That
treatment.
sucks.
Just
Yeah.
think about that. You're like, yeah, I'm just on a movie set. Yeah, I got bit by a spider. I had to
Oh,
fly to the
wait,
hospital.
Yeah.
That's awful. I feel for them.
Oh yeah, it's frightening.
Man, going from, people being stabbed and stuff on set to people being bit and stuff. It's like, what is going on in the 90s, man?
Yeah, seriously.
They were like, this
I'm sure
is.
it's not much better hearing that, but God.
It was just Mad Max out there, man.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, no kidding.
Maybe we just had 2 movies like this in a row.
I don't know. I don't think it was only these two.
We're just gonna assume it's a blanket
I'm
statement for the
picturing
time.
Die Hard now, and I'm like, oh man, what did Bruce Willis go through for Die Hard?
Dude, right?
Did he actually walk on the glass?
Yeah, exactly.
Probably.
Well, no, see, that's how the sets were. Aragorn stubs his toe.
Oh,
What's
he
his face
fucking
gets cut in the foot. So
Sam.
Yeah.
I mean, Aragorn smacked that knife right out of the air.
yeah,
That's frightening.
Okay, so see, we have plenty of evidence to say that that's just how it was making movies.
That being said,
that
Lord of the
time.
Rings was just 2 years after this.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So Sam was saying earlier, I want to bring this back up. She's never seen Return of the Mummy. Have you seen it?
I have.
Have you seen the third one?
Yes. I cannot tell you anything about either one.
So the second one is good. They bring back
I
Imhotep.
remember the second one being good.
Imhotep's in it, but the third one, Rachel Weisz isn't even in it.
Yeah, I
What the
remember
heck?
that.
She went to go play Batman.
No, there was like
It's too early.
she
for
just
that.
didn't want it. There was something weird. Like I don't think Stephen Summers was involved. Like they basically it was like a whole different crew.
She didn't want to prance around in a nightgown again. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah,
Can't
so
imagine why.
speaking of her nightgowns, at one point she's wearing the white nightgown, jumps into a river, and they had to do some editing to make sure it wasn't rated R.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not surprised.
And in the first
Yeah.
scene, Tim's girl that he likes to say her name,
Oh yeah.
Enough son of a-
she
Yeah, she's straight up naked.
yeah, they put a bikini on her. They digitally edited a bikini on her for when it was on TV.
Oh my god.
So that exists.
What a wild time.
Okay.
I feel like
But-
that's not surprising though. Like I feel like for
No.
TV versions they would either cut
Oh,
those
that is
scenes
very
or they
common.
would be like wearing something completely different, or when they say fuck they say fudge or something like that. Like that doesn't surprise me that much.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've established that Sam has never seen the second one, and Tim has seen 2 and 3. But did either of you watch the TV show, The Mummy?
No.
No.
Oh,
Did you?
of course.
Okay, so you're like very into this franchise, is what we're learning.
Yeah, I loved The
Yeah,
Mummy.
yeah, apparently. I mean, it was good, but not that good.
Okay, in Bethel, they only had like Nickelodeon. I didn't have Cartoon Network. So Saturday mornings were like legitimate. I was one of those Saturday morning cartoon kids.
I
Like
see.
those were the best shows, like Mighty Morphin, Power Rangers.
Okay.
Anyways,
Yeah.
but he also when we went to Universal, we rode the Mummy ride, and that's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, but I felt like for some reason that was based off the second one because I don't
remember
Or
what it's
maybe I
based off
hadn't-
of,
know. It's good though.
but the director was brought back for that.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
That's why it's good then.
Yeah. And after the morning after this movie premiered, the Universal executives called Steven Summers and was like, "So when are you working on the second one? We need another."
That's funny. That big of a success.
They could tell from the first day.
Yeah. Well, there were a few other quotes that I thought were funny. At one point, the wind is always like blowing out their fire or whatever. And Brendan Fraser's like, that happens a lot around here. It's just like, nice little.
It's quick,
Kind of
it
like
is
a
great.
fourth,
Yeah.
like slight fourth wall breaking, but not fully.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
good. And then one scene that annoyed the shit out of me is like, they were like, don't read from the book. And it's like,
Oh my god.
she's already,
yeah.
like, they've already read from the book. Shit's already happening. Like, at this point, you know,
Well,
could have
I
told
think
somebody.
that's kind of the whole book thing kind of goes against the curse, right? Because like he's cursed to live forever and be eaten by those things over and over again, like for eternity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's already like alive, but does that just somehow? I don't know. I didn't understand reading the book like activated him. Like I just never understood that.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know, or maybe he was just since
It's
he
the
didn't
book
have
of the
any
Dev.
eyes or whatever. He was like, "Oh shit, I'm free."
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe that's what it
was.
Could be.
Or yeah, it could be that they read the book and stuff, so then that's all he was waiting for. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but
Also, I kind of want a like scary movie rendition of this where the mummy, because he has no fucking eyes, is like stumbling through, like feeling through with his hands.
Ah!
Oh man. Yeah, that'd be good. The only other note I had was just that I enjoyed the music. I thought it was good.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Like the main
yeah.
score was very good.
naturally.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was beautiful. All right. Tim, do you have anything else?
Do not.
So the critics only gave this a 60%.
Mm.
That's shocking.
I know. The audience is 75%, IMDb with a 7.1 out of 10, and Google with an 89%. So I will start because it was a near and dear for me. And I will say, yes, this was probably my top rated film of the season.
Wow.
Like, as
I
far
mean,
as
it's
the
near and
algorithm.
dear, so that's logical.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
yeah.
like, everything was like high marks for me.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
Especially the vibe and the dialogue
Definitely.
and the music.
Just list all the categories.
I thought the pacing was good too. Like 2 hours.
It was. Yeah.
2 hours was
It
fine for
worked.
this
It
movie.
felt like the whole story was played out. Like
They
and it didn't
didn't-
feel gappy or anything like that.
They didn't waste their time.
No filler.
Yep.
Lots of people getting destroyed.
Constantly getting destroyed by bugs.
Bible. Yeah.
Fucking bugs everywhere, man.
The worst. My turn?
Yeah.
Yo-ho!
I believe mine was probably the same as yours. Like, I think pretty much everything was green. So that means it must have been a 4 or a 5. And so obviously it's a flip on for me.
Quick. All right. Yeah, I gave everything 5s.
Yeah.
All green
Tim-
across
Tim
the
and I were the
board.
same.
Music was sexy. Cinematography was sexy. Hell yeah, I'd stop. I mean, this is classic for me. So it's like near and dear just to you. It is to me too. I mean, it's like,
Yeah. So me switching
This
from
movie is
Power
so good.
Rangers.
I mean, I'd seen Power Rangers. I couldn't. That would be one that I probably would not have remembered anything from.
Oh, so Sam has all those movies that she watched on repeat. And you had your horror films,
Mhm.
Tim. Power Rangers was mine. That
Gotcha.
Thief and the Cobbler and Power Rangers were my two. I used to, I just loved that movie.
Not Little Nemo.
fair.
I did. No, Little Nemo was at my grandparents' house.
I was just being stupid.
Nah, I get it, but that being said, we're down to only 4 on the wheel.
Oh my gosh, we got to spin. Nice.
Sam gets recommendations again.
Round 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
I'll actually pull something from the list, not before it's on the list.
All right, can somebody go request Dance to Electric Boogaloo?
It's
Well,
That's what that's from.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
I did not know that either.
it's a terrible movie, apparently. Jot that down.
Mm-mm.
I
If only it
won't.
was on the recommendation list.
I know.
If you like this episode, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at FlipperFlix. I guess we don't have to say it anymore, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm old. Follow along, see what we're doing. Interact if you'd like to.
Yeah, hit us up there. I don't know. You can also give us recommendations on other of those sites, or you can go to our website at www.flipperflix.com. Yeah, we do a couple recommendations each season, so we just love we're trying to pander right now. We're trying to get you to come to our website, give us some clicks, and recommend us a movie because, we're going to have to pick those eventually, and more the merrier, right?
Yeah.
You can also, speaking of pandering, you can also rate us, rate and review us on Apple, Spotify now. Oh, we also do polls there occasionally, so that's always fun.
Answer Adam's questions.
Answer all of my questions, God damn it.
And if you're wondering, when can I catch these fools? You can catch us at 1 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. We're on Spotify, as Adam mentions, where he does his polls. We're on Apple, Google, Amazon. I believe you can subscribe on the various platforms, and that way you'll get like a push notification or it'll come right into your queue. So that way you don't ever have to look at the clock on Thursday. It'll just be there for you. Kitty!
Can you later? Bye later.